You're watching the TCMMA podcast.
Allan Nascimento versus Jafel Filho. And both of these guys are solid competitors. Both guys very capable of winning this fight, but it is a little tricky because it's a flyweight division fight. Those are always tricky. There's going to be a lot of rolling on the ground and things like that. And they're both Brazilian. Go figure. So I have no angle here if the fight is close. So let's get into Nascimento versus Filho right now. In the flyweight division at UFC Vegas 95, you got Allan Nascimento coming in at 20-6. The Brazilian takes on fellow Brazilian Jafel Filho, who comes in at 16-3. So you got two really good Brazilians going at it here. Flyweight division. Allan Nascimento, 1 inch taller at 5'8". He's 32. Filho 31, so no big deal there in the age. Both guys 69-inch reach. Both guys stand right-handed. Now, Nascimento slightly more active on the feet, but both guys not really that active. Nascimento 3.2 significant strikes per minute to 2.4 for Filho. So that's just kind of terrible for both guys. But as Brazilians do, they take you to the ground. These two get a takedown on average every other round. Nascimento's 16% takedown defense. Filho 55. Both guys easily below the UFC average. But Nascimento is coming off back-to-back wins. He submitted Carlos Hernandez and got a decision over Jake Hadley, right? Holding Jake Hadley to 8 significant strikes over 3 rounds due to 2 takedowns. So just completely took him out of the fight. Now before that, he lost to Tagir Ulanbekov, who's a solid fighter, and that was still a split decision. Filho's also won back-to-back fights over O'Day Osborne by submission, both by decision, and Daniel Perez by arm triangle submission. He did lose to Muhammad Makayev by submission in the 3rd round. So both guys evenly matched here. It's going to be an interesting fight, to say the least. But I'm going to lean towards Allan Nascimento because both guys are even on the ground. He does have terrible takedown defense, so that is an X factor. But he is a slightly better striker, and I expect him to win this fight on the feet. Because if it does go to the ground, both guys should be equally matched, even though Filho's getting submissions. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, very easily could submit Nascimento, but it's going to be tougher and trickier than other opponents because you got Brazil on Brazil. So no easy angle here for me because you know me. If it's close and there's not really a big difference, I'm going with the Brazilian 9 times out of 10. And they're both Brazilian, so that doesn't help here. But I like Allan Nascimento to get the job done here, likely by decision. He'll lead in significant strikes in 2 of the 3 rounds to get the win to move to 21-6 here, flyweight division, UFC Vegas 95. And I guess you could also look at it like I can't go wrong here, right? I can't go wrong in this fight because they're both Brazilian. So in that case, I can't go wrong. I'm still going with a Brazilian. And in this case, it's Allan Nascimento. You know, the 2 toughest divisions for me to predict, too, are the lightweight division and the flyweight division. It doesn't mean the winning percentage is lower when predicting these fights. It just means that it's tougher because there's not a lot of angles. Usually the numbers are very close. Usually both guys can land takedowns, and usually both guys can defend takedowns, especially in the flyweight and lightweight divisions. Now you start getting into bantamweight and featherweight and welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight, women's divisions. I usually find an angle. But these 2 divisions, I'm always struggling to make the pick, even as I go through the stats and look at previous fights and all that.
He's gon' fight, wait, he's gon' fight, wait, hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height, yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might, saying step up, wanna fight, hold up, think twice, gladiator assassin, reckless no abandon, walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass